Hydration 101, Health Drop 101. Hey man, I'm just really hearing about this H3O thing. I just dropped this quick little short I shared from the IG. Go check out the IG, man. Click the link below. Yeah, all right, let's just talk about hydrating foods. I mean, the worst thing that can happen from taking this voyage with a knocker is that you learn which hydrating foods, you get to choose from, whether or not H3O exists or if it's a scam. I mean, the first thing Hijack City is going to do, since Hijack City is against anything natural, boss. Hijack City is against anything natural. So, anybody say they got living water? Y'all remember the whole ZZYZX story? Homeboy selling water, and then they move in on it, and now it's some type of federal such and such, tourist attraction. They don't want to talk about living water and shilajit and fulvic acid, my nigga. They don't want to talk about hydration. Love to Yosef the real. We know all the water's been chapped up, man. Look out for the Ether Squad, man. We on a rise, my niggas. They don't want to talk about hydration and water and that mem sauce. They ain't got that mem sauce. So we know the water's all chapped up, right? Right, Yosef, man. And that's a fact. So we can't be tripping on better solutions. We just talking about solutions. The water's chapped up. Now we know that's also going to mean. I mean, Yosef going to tell you that's also going to mean that the veggies is going to be chapped up. The fruits are going to be chapped up because the soil and Ama is just right now Ama with us. We're going through the Deuteronomy 28, everything after verse 15. Right, we've been putting this curse, this energy on ourselves from the out of code behavior, the nature. We've been out of our nature, so everything natural is chapped up. Kanye said everything natural's been chapped up. We've been chapped up. The fruit's been chapped up. The veggies been chapped up. The trees been chapped up. The water, the mem sauce is chapped up. All right, but we can take baby steps, right? Baby steps. So, um, is there such thing as H3O? Is there such thing as H3O2? There's two sides of this coin. They really Hijack City really got out out in front. They calling this thing just some make believe yada yada so that people can sell you some high quality H2O, H3O, H3O2. And yeah, you do got scam artists, so you gotta beware of anyone saying, "Hey man, I got that H3O right here, man. I got H3O." You do gotta be, these are different. I just put it in Google, right? So, but the main point that we want to look at is hydration, and whether it's called H3O or whether this chemical, bond, this compound does exist with three hydrogens and an oxygen. Doesn't seem like it's too crazy. Three hydrogens and an oxygen or two oxygens don't seem too damn crazy to believe in. So, can we believe in different states of water existing, different phases of water? There's different phases of water. Why can't a third hydrogen bond to an oxygen or two oxygens? So that don't seem crazy. They just, I think, are mainly saying look out for the scam artists. So we just got to say, okay, how can we get it naturally? Even if the fruit is chopped up, is that at least a better source than your bottled water and whatever the case is? And people got all kind of suggestions, man. I'm gonna look at the IG so you can read some suggestions, and on YouTube as well, man. All my noggins is everywhere popping off. So let's go, man. I don't know. I'm gonna start it off with this. I don't know. I'm just now hearing about it. Love to the con Yaki. It's a Yaki Awaken. Somebody said he been popping off on this. I ain't had the time yet to dig into his classroom yet, but I will look into Brother Yaki as well, man. So go check him out. And AI for the, great work, my knocking mates. First of all, man, fair use in y'all caboose, bro. Not y'all, but I'm talking about YouTube. You know what I mean? Section 17, we're gonna play some videos about H3O. We're gonna really get to the bottom of things from the professor, the scientist, that's really been pushing this third hydrogen bonding to this oxygen, these different states that the water can be in. How your body, you know what I'm saying, within your body, the water's in a different state is what they're kind of saying than just when you drink regular water, it's a different state of water that your body's in. In other words, it's more of a gelatin flow, they're saying. So that water's not really being used like that. You need this third hydrogen to kind of bond to the, you know, natural state of how the water is within your human body. And man, that's the best way as a layman to this mem sauce talk. But yeah, we're gonna watch some videos, man. We're gonna criticize, maybe some comments, report. I don't know what I could teach, but I'll be in the classroom with y'all and we can figure this thing out together, man. Is it real? And really, can we at least upgrade our hydration? If anything, I'm not here to say this or that or go buy this and go buy that. Drop's not saying none of that. But we are going to upgrade our hydration. All right, watermelon, I know is on the list. Cantaloupe, you know what I mean? Make sure you get the seeds, right? Basic stuff. And a lot of us are having, gardens, planting, you know what I mean? So now we know, okay, we can plant this, and this is hydration. This is H3O. This is that scholarship. This is that recon. Ahab Drop Nation, we up, man. Let's go. The water for all your support, your Ahab along. Y'all, been keeping that water flowing. And as I've been going through, just real spill in my life, I'm here for y'all. And I know y'all here for me, man. And we've been here for each other, man, since the balcony. And the water for your support, your patience. And, just look out for it, man. The rising, man. You know what I'm saying? The fifth wave, man. We all the way up, man. We gonna surf that wave all the way, man, into, that that pure water, man. Into that third hydrogen bonding to the oxygens, man. Look into the Yandex flow. Yandex sometimes has better results than Google sometimes, there's a few links, I pulled up already. But this kind of seems cool to start with here. I'm going to start right here with this Yandex flow, man. And then I'm going to show you a couple videos we've been digging on, a couple short drops, and, let you meet one of the professors that's on this. So, water of life, okay. Okay. Now, at the end of this lesson, y'all going to tell me, is it real? Is it fake? Is it a psyop to get you to buy somebody's water? Or is there some drop in this that can hydrate the Naga and, give the Naga more life, and maybe Hijack City trying to just shut it down because they don't want you to get that water natural by law. Got to drop. The water of life, H3O2, the healing power of structured water. While it may seem hard to understand, this water is simply H3O2, a state of water which can be called structured. You're going to hear that term a lot, so get used to it. So when they talk structured water and is it real? Is it a scam? You know what I mean? We're just talking about a structured bond. So I'm real confused. Well, I'm not confused. I'm just, it's real obvious that Hijack City is going to, attack anything to do with pure water. I mean, that's just obvious, right? They came over here poisoning our water supply. They poisoning the air, the rain, everything is chapped up, right? So clearly, what I'm saying? We're talking about structure. That seems natural. Order, that seems natural. You know what I mean? But they're going to immediately just try to act like this does not exist. So we're going to read some articles of them saying how this is impossible. And then we're going to read some articles from other experts saying that this is exactly what it is. So you going to tell me, man. You leave a comment. You let me know how you really. All right. So a state of water which can be structured or can be called structure and is extremely pure and accessible to the body. That's what we're talking about. Pure water, right? And accessibility. Pure and accessible. is what we're talking about. Water solubility, all that is what we're talking about. When something's more soluble, like the fulvic acid that's in the shilajit, and it's I think 100% water soluble, so it gets into those cellular membranes, the ones that are aging, the ones that need renewal. That's why it's called this conqueror of mountain, tree of life. You know what I'm saying? This giver of life, shilajit, conquering of the age, because this water is able to conquer any cellular membrane in your body. You know what I'm saying? Even the ones that's chapped up, it can be renewed, it can be restored. Water is the key to restoration, and that's why it's attacked like this. That's why they attack the water. And when they attack the water, they attack the flow. When they build those damn dams and flood up all the Naga cities underwater, right? They're changing the flow, you know what I'm saying? And when they change the flow of the earth body, they change the flow of our body. Let's go. The reason why is because the water is not in a free state. It is structured in a hexagonal lattice with the surrounding water. Individual H2O molecules form loose ionic bonds, creating an H3O2 lattice. While this water is not free in the same way as H2O, it has more viscosity and forms the basis for creating a cellular life. Life. So when we talk water, obviously we're talking life. Water is the basis of all this life. Water is amal. Water is that mem in the Hebrew, that mem, M-E-M. That's why we call it that mem sauce. Yosef the Real got the drop. That mem sauce is that water, is ama. We're talking life. We're talking creation, right? Creating. All right, let's go. I mean, any lies detected so far? You know what I mean? Let's go. Normal H2O allows for solutions to be formed, a free state. This is the water we are familiar with. The added hydrogen and oxygen allow for an ionic bonding of the water, which is essential for life's abilities to manipulate and generate proteins, enzymes, and biochemistry of all types. Carrie Cassidy of Project Camelot in her interview reveals that H3O2 water is distilled by the body and is found intracellularly within the cells. This water is essential for healthy cell function, which of course will casually heal other deficiencies. One of the reasons juicing and urine therapy are so effective for body rejuvenation, healing of cancer, nearly every other medical condition, is this infusion of structured or structuralized water leading to rejuvenation of cellular tissue of the body. That's what it's all about. Remember, the dragon is renewal. Water, power is the dragon. Talking energy, frequency, and vibration. Any lies detected yet? So, yeah, there's an issue with people trying to get ahead of this. Just like shit legit, you got to make sure you got a good company. It could have anything mixed up in whatever you get from anybody. You know what I'm saying? You get a bag of rice, you gotta make sure, it's from a good person. Whatever you're getting, you gotta make sure it's pure water, you know what I mean? But we're just talking science, right? Science drop 101. Let's go. I mean, why would they say this is crazy? And say, oh, the reason is just so people can make money off selling you. Managa, these are scientific studies. We're going to get into Dr. Gerald Pollack from the University of Washington, professor of bioengineering. And you tell me if it's play. Is he doing this to sell personal products? Or is he talking about something ancient? That eating fruit, right? Juicing, great things, man. You get that You get a different state of water. It makes sense that's not the same water in your bottles, man. That alone just makes common sense that the water from an actual, not an engineer, but an actual watermelon, that natural water that, you know what I'm saying, if it had a natural water source, I'm just saying, theoretically speaking, I got to talk scientific. I got to talk science. We talking science drop 101. All right, we got to get science. My niggas, can y'all put on your science hats, man? Can my nigga in the back of the class put on his special science beanie that says I love science? I got the drop. Let's go, man. Let's put on our science hats, man. Let's get thinky, man. All right? We're getting thinky. It makes sense that the water in a fresh fruit, provided it's from a great water source or supply, I do still believe that fresh, pure fruit and water still exists, as Yosef has led us to the water, and understanding primary water. Go check out his page, Yosef, the real primary water. And yeah, look out for the Yosef pack, man. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna make sure, the primary mem gotta continue. Ahab to all my Nagas that supported the reconstruction pack. We put a lot of information on that. So check it, man. We know there's real fresh water born, right? The volcanoes, you got the volcanic steam, primary steam, fresh born steam from the volcano, all that volcanic activity coming up the fissures into the primary rock. This is, I'm just stating a few basics that I got from the classroom with Yosef the real, talking Tokef Banat, you know what I'm saying? And that primary steam, forms into them primary fissures of the primary rock. And out come the natural springs. Moses can now hit that rock and the water could come out because it's trapped, the water from the primary steam, from the volcanic, or, from Ama, you know what I'm saying? So we don't have to wait for the rainwater. The water is fresh born. It's a process, just, not the process they teach us in school with this rain cycle stuff, no, fresh, millions and tons of fresh water, pure water is born every day. Mama never runs out of water. There's never a water shortage. It's just a shortage of what they want to supply. It's a shortage of what they want to supply. So it ain't crazy that you can get fresher, more beautiful water out of a fresh cantaloupe or cucumber, all these high hydration foods. Hydration, we're talking hydrogen. And now I'm talking 3 hydrogens, man. You're talking 2 hydrogens, that's what you're going to get in your H2O. But you're buying H2O. But if your water is in a different state, if your water is in H3O, or excuse me, your body is in H3O or H3O2, and you're drinking H2O, it's not so compatible. Yeah, your urine might be very clear, but that's just because you're pissing out all this H2O you just drunk. You know what I'm saying? You're flushing out your kidneys, cool, but you're also flushing out a lot of good stuff instead of your kidneys being adequately hydrated by water that is in the same natural state, right? Now you're bringing it into something that is soluble, or something that's usable. Now your body can use it and give you actual hydration. That's the most pure water I can break it down from the little I've know or heard. And like I said, I haven't heard anything about this H3O, I'll tell you the truth. So I just got the drop this strong. They say weak, we say strong, right? But this week, this strong. I just got this drop, man, come across the drop desk, man. So General, my bad, Dr. Gerald Pollack. We'll start up here. What is the 4th phase of water? The 4th phase of water. University of Washington, bioengineering. Professor Gerald Pollack answers this question and intrigues us to consider the implications of this finding. That's what we're talking about. We are on an investigation. Not all water is H2O. That's what we're realizing now. Is that cap? Is that capery? Is he lying, boss? Is all water H2O? We just assume all water is H2O. Just like you assume the music coming out your radio isn't a healthy frequency because it's music, because it's sound, because it's vibration, but not all vibration is equal. Not all water is equal. That's an obvious fact. A radical departure from what you may have learned from textbooks. All right, so Dr. Gerald Pollack, University of Washington, professor of bioengineering, has developed a theory of water that has been called revolutionary. He has spent the past decade convincing worldwide audiences that water is not actually a liquid. Well, we know it has different forms. I mean, is that crazy? Is that crazy? Any lies detected? Water's not always liquid. It could be gelatin. We know that. It could be solid and frozen. It could be liquid. It could be gas. Right. We're talking about ether. Right. So Dr. Pollack received his PhD in biomedical engineering from the University of Pennsylvania in 1968. He then joined the University of Washington faculty and is now a professor of bioengineering. For years, Dr. Pollack has researched muscles and how they contract. It struck him as odd that most common ideas about muscle contraction did not involve water, despite the fact muscle tissue consists of 99% water molecules. So if you're getting muscle spasms, it's definitely due to hydration. Water research happens at Pollack Laboratories, which states our orientation is rather fundamental. We are oriented towards uncovering some of nature's most deeply hidden secrets. We're at a time where all the secrets are coming out, boss. All the secrets are coming out. All the applications interest us as well. Yeah, we got to apply this thing correctly. Let's go. Uncovering nature's secrets involving water is what Dr. Pollack, his staff, and students do best. In his 2001 book, Cells, Gels, and Engines of Life, Dr. Pollack explains how the cell functions. Research suggests that much of the cell biology may be governed by a single unifying mechanism, the phase transition. Water is absolutely central to every function of its cell. Bang! Whether it's muscle contraction, cells dividing, or nerves conducting, etc. All right, so this extraordinary book challenges many of the concepts that have been accepted in contemporary cell biology. The underlying premise of this book is that a cell's cytoplasm is gel-like rather than ordinary aqueous solution. Well, now we're talking science. Now, when I get to the articles that's trying to disprove this theory, right, they're just coming like hardcore. Oh, this is preposterous. They use these big words. It's redundantly incapacitated. Like, I don't know, man. Like, they just go crazy because he's speaking common sense. He's speaking what we can clearly see. He's speaking our language, and at least he's on the investigation and he's saying, "Look, man, this could charge you up." You know what I'm saying? They over here just trying to shut it down and just have you drinking H2O forever, right? H2O forever. They don't want that third hydrogen. They don't want that third hydrogen. So there's a fourth phase of water. Let's get it right here. Your body consists of over 99% water molecules, but the water in your cells is not regular water. All right? We ain't talking about what you're getting at the grocery store, but highly constructed water with special properties. You remember that drop? You know, some of y'all surfing a wave of that lake within the lake, or the ocean within the ocean, and oh boy was going down there filming. I forgot the show, but y'all know what I'm talking about. And he bounced off like another layer of water that was more like He bounced off of it. It was more like gelatin. You know what I mean? Just like what we hear. It was the water was in another state, right? Inside the ocean. There were more water, like a portal, like a portal. Okay. Not regular water, but highly structured with special properties. You think the water in your body is the same as what you get at the grocery store? So why do you think you're replenishing anything? You got fresh fruit growing from the ground that Hawaii has provided for Nagas to eat the fruits, to eat the vegetables, to replenish the water in the proper phase, the proper state. Is that Capri? Any lies detected, boss? I ain't selling you H3O. He's over here at the university doing experiments. Yeah, you got people trying to benefit off of this, just like Sheila Jit. But does it mean you throw away the theory? Is it preposterous that water can be highly structured, special properties? There's a fourth phase of water. I guess the other phases are what? The solid, liquid, and gas. Okay. I mean, drop do science a little bit. Let's go. Not H2O, but H3O2. Balls. Okay. All right. Surf. Hey, we are surfing science drop right now. We surfing away. Can be called living. Whoa. Okay. Birdman hand rub. Birdman hand rub. Okay. Now we're getting somewhere. We're getting somewhere. We've been talking about founding youth. We've been talking about living water. We've been talking Sheila Jit to quit. I guess that's why the Garden of Eden is so important, right? Now you need to get those fruits that have the H3O, right? And get the living water. And this is why you're able to live 900 plus years. Managa, you over here dying of dehydration, don't even know it. Because you drinking lots of H2O, boss. Boss, I drink 5 gallons of H2O a day, boss. My piss is crystal clear. I piss and I can see my reflection, boss. Yeah, boss, you pissing out all that H2O, boss. Flushing out the good stuff, flushing out the kidney. I'm not saying don't drink H2O. I'm just surfing away, right? We just surfing away. Surfing away, right? Living water. Living water, all right. It's more viscous, all right, dense, alkaline, right? Okay. We know that's a good thing. Than regular water. It's charged up, has a negative charge, and can hold energy much like a battery and deliver energy too. Whoa. Deliver energy, boss? Like Naga's doing energy blasts, you know what I'm saying? Like Naga's on their Goku, huh? If you was full of this energy, just like water, there's cars that can go off water, water batteries, right? If you could feed off this energy, not this energy, not H2O, right? But add another hydrogen and oxygen, like a battery, delivering a charge. Let's just go. I'm not even talking Marvel. Y'all brought up Marvel. I didn't say Blue Marvel. Y'all brought that up. I didn't even say that. Let's go, man. Living water, energy, battery, melanin. All right, stop, drop. Before you make the hijack figure it all out. The key ingredient to create this highly structured water is light. Oh, now we talking light. electromagnet. Oh, I'm out of here. Natural. You gotta take the wheel, boss. You got to. You got to. We're talking electromagnetic energy. Blue Marvelin. Y'all said it. I didn't say it. Y'all said it. This is highly structured water, boss. Delivers energy like a battery. Can hold energy. The key ingredient is light. It sounds like a dragon, but y'all said dragon. I didn't even say it. Electromagnetic, whether in the form of visible light or infrared wave. I said we were surfing the wave. You said we were surfing the wave, but you didn't know we was surfing the wave like this. I get it. You might be in a rush, man. I'm taking my time, because once you got it, you ain't gotta rush it. You got it. You got it. You already got it, Khan. Managa, you got the light. You got the energy. Your body already has it. Remember? I'm not saying, oh, go find H3O. I'm saying they're saying your body already got the ingredients, man. Get that sunlight, right? But you might want to also replenish. I'm not saying go to their companies. I'm saying, get that fruit. If anything, just get the fruit. I think we winning if we get the fruit. We got to plant the right fruit, right? We got to do our best to, treat the soil, alkaline it up, unchap it up, whatever we got to do, right? So let's go. Can I read that key ingredient again? The key ingredient to create this highly structured water is light, i.e. electromagnetic energy. Come on. So the electromagnetic energy is the key ingredient to the fourth phase of water, H3O2, called living water, boss. Whether in the form of visible light or infrared wavelength, right? Is light a particle? Is light a wave, right? Now we're talking quantum again. Now we're talking quantum, but you're going to see they're also talking quantum too. So time travel, boss, has to do with water, boss. But now we're talking about clockwise and counterclockwise again, right? So vortex. I just saw that vortex. We're gonna get there, but I said clockwise, counterclockwise, and then vortex pop up. Right? We're talking structured water. Y'all surfing the wave with me, man. I'm surfing the wave with you. Can I get a drink of my tea? This ain't no rush, man. We already got it, Con. We already got it. I'm not saying my tea has any structured water in it. It got bottled water. Nothing special about it. But I am on a special investigation with you, man. Let's go. So this light, electromagnetic energy, whether in the form of visible light, or infrared wavelengths, which we're surrounded by all the time. One reason why infrared saunas make you feel so good is because your body's cells are deeply penetrated by infrared energy, which builds and stores structured water. The same goes for light therapy, spending time in the sun, and laser therapy. Besides optimizing your drinking water by vortex, you can help support your body's negative charge by connecting to the earth. We're talking Ama, right? Ama, light, energy. We're just talking batteries, man, right? Talking structure, keeping the code so you can get this energy. You forgot about all this. You acting like this is something new. We acting like this is something new. This ain't nothing new. This is what it is, right? I am that I am. You just forgot. You got put to sleep. You in a Ruach Tarde Ma, but not no more. Now we in the ether squad. Now we in tribal mafia, popping off with Five Eyes mouth. Hey man, my jigger take the wheel. MHOE. You can help support your body's negative charge by connecting to Ama, which also has a negative charge. This is the basis of the earthing or grounding technique when you got your feet right there in the soil, right there in the grass, right there, you know what I'm saying, in the water, you know what I mean, in the lake, you know what I mean. You grounded to Ama, now you connected, and what they call negative charge, positive charge, that's just hijack city English. They just talking English, right? But when they say negative, I see Naga. You never heard this one before, my Naga man. I see Naga, man. I see negative, man. Ama got the drop, man. What you talking about? So yeah, man, you should support your body's Naga charge, man, by connecting, right, to Ama. Okay. All right. And it's a good link. It's gonna have a lot of drop in there for you. We're gonna move on, but you know what they call EZ. Other inherent differences between regular water and EZ water include its structure. Typical tap water is H2O, but this fourth phase is not H2O. It's actually H3O2. All right. More viscous, more ordered, more alkaline than regular water. Its optimum properties are different. The refractive index of easy water is about 10% higher than ordinary water. Its density is also about 10% higher, and it has a negative charge, negative electrical potential. This may provide the answer as to why human cells are negatively charged, man. He like, I can't make this stuff up. Easy. Trying to see where they had got the acronym easy from, but it's going to keep popping up as structured water. Sometimes they're going to call it easy water. Just know that, and maybe, we'll see why, or what that stands for. Oh, wait. Easy water is light. Okay. I mean, still not saying what the easy is. But hey, we on investigation. We're going to figure this out. But what creates or builds easy water? One of the greatest surprises is that the key ingredient to easy water is light. Electromagnetic energy, whether in the form of visible light, ultraviolet wavelengths, infrared wavelengths, which surround us all the time. So the light potential is you. The interior of the cell is much like a gel. So the stuff we buy from the store, we know, is not in this phase. This is what they call four phase. 3 hydrogen, 1 oxygen. All right. 3 hydrogen, 2 oxygen. Now, is this make believe? Are you saying that this bond doesn't exist in science? Is this what the, detractors are trying to say? We don't know. I don't know. Let me go to the IG right quick, and then we're going to get back into this and some other videos. The water to the cons. I know, man. It's some mind-blasting information, man. Expect to come across, more and more of this mind-blasting stuff, man. And, stuff that's like right in your face the whole time type of thing. You still got to recon it. You know what I'm saying? Do your recon. Don't take nobody's word for it. Do your recon, and definitely don't just go out and purchase anything or buy anything without the research. You know what I'm saying? Do that. You know what I mean? But I'm just steering you towards the fruits, man. I'm not putting no product in your hand. I'm just like, if the fruits already got it, the fruits got it. Now you got to pick your fruit wisely, right? Now we just gotta pick the fruit wisely, man. The water to the cons, man. Surfing wave on IG, man. Oh man, so much going on. I'm gonna do a whole separate drop, just digging on some of these IG posts, some of the recent ones, and we just gonna kind of jump around and just have fun and watch all these things, man. Some of them are gonna be funny, some are gonna be like, you know, you know, health related. Some might be, tech related. Tech drop, some science drop. We're gonna jump around. We're gonna jump around, man. We're gonna get some indigenous truth, of course. Yeah, it's all happening. We're gonna get some flat drop 101, some frequency drop. Things is happening, man, in the world, man. Political drop, all kinds of stuff. Yeah, what I'm talking about is this one right here, man. Let's listen to what homie has to say, man. Hey, man, we got to learn from everybody these days, man. And a lot of knockers is digging on his drop, so let's go. Surf the wave. H3O, H2O, H3O2. What it do? Truth about water, a nugget that is mind blasting. You see, man, we got our veggies up. You know what I mean? One throw out. Strawberries. I mean, you might not like everything, but dig on it, man. I know it looked like homies in some type of sauna. That's just how this thing posted, but just listen to what he's saying about the water, man. Listen to the message, man. Let's go.
Scientifically, you have H3O, H2O, and H3O2. H3O is scientifically the water that is present inside of our body that we are 72% of. This is a jelly structured water. It is 3 hydrogen molecules plus 1 oxygen molecule. That is what H3O stands for. Now, H2O, you guessed it, it stands for 2 hydrogens plus another oxygen molecule condensed together in the structure of water. This is the water present in rivers, in streams, in lakes, in bodies of water in nature. Now you have your H3O2, which is 3 hydrogen molecules plus 2 oxygen molecules attached to it. And this is the water present in fruits. It is very, very present in things like melons, such as zucchinis and cucumbers, watermelons, etc. And with that being said, this H3O2 water is scientifically the 4th phase of water. Mainstream science has started to research this structure of water, and they have named it the 4th phase of water. The reason it is the 4th phase of water, it is because we can yield more energy from it, and it delivers more energy to us.
Let's go.
And not to mention, in the metabolic process of water inside of our body, H3O2 actually loses an oxygen molecule when it's put in the body. So with that being said, what happens when H3O2 loses an oxygen molecule? It's H3O. So it converts into the water that our body is actually made up of. And H3O2 is filled with electrolytes, biophotons. It is filled with minerals, vitamins, and essential nutrients for the human body. With that being said, H3O, the water that is scientifically present inside of the body, is actually been confirmed to not be anywhere outside of the body. It is nowhere in nature, it is not in fruit, it is not in any type of food, etc. So the only way to actually get H3O back in our body is to consume H3O2 because it converts back into 3 hydrogen molecules plus another oxygen molecule. And the only way to do this is to eat your water.
Whoa.
Or juice things like melons and juice things like cucumbers. With that being said, when people are in a constant state of consumption of H2O, 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 and you're just drinking a bunch of water, all you're doing is flushing out your kidneys. You are simply drowning your kidneys on a physical level, which is linked to you urinating so much. You are just dumping out minerals and electrolytes in your urine. And that is why that urine appears to be the color of water, because you are literally pissing out a bunch of water. You are yielding no water when you're drinking a bunch of H2O, and that is a fact, right? That is why people intuitively know they're urinating way too much when they're drinking a gallon of water every day. That's not what you're supposed to do. That is not hydrating you.
Woo. Okay. That's some drop. Like just popping off. Love to dust sage, man. Just buy a water distiller and structure it with electrolytes, fruit juice or herbal. I mean, I love the cons. Cons always got the job, man. Y'all got the job, man. All right, crystal salt. Get it bigger, man. Crystal salt is inorganic, accumulates in the organs and joints. Things like celery, celery juice. All right, good source of sodium. All right, okay, right. This is good stuff. All right, love to the floor tea peach. The floor tea peach. Thank you, young man, for putting this in a way we can understand. Hey, man, hey, yeah. We appreciate the bro, and we appreciate Caddo Indigo, man. Go check out Caddo, CADDO underscore Indigo, who, I saw this drop on his page, man. So the other way to get H3O2 is melanated women's breast milk contains H3O2. Love to Carbon Goddess 888, the only being to have it. Well, is it facts? I don't know. I mean, but yeah, I'm with it. I'm with it. I'm with it. What about coconut water? Is that the same water that's in the fruits? I don't know if it's exactly the same, but I know it's good for hydration. That's a good question. I don't know. Bars, man. All right, man. Look, man. A lot of y'all digging on this. I appreciate you, and it's interesting, right? It's interesting. Let's keep going. That's all I'm saying. I'm interested. I'm trying to see what's going on. Stillness in the storm, an agent of conscious evolution. All right. Shout out to Stillness in the storm. What you saying over here? I'm just surfing away with you. Water of life, H3O2, the healing power of structured water. What is the fourth phase of water? It says Julian and I have been researching water for several years, covering structured water. Distilled water is juicing. Oh, come on, boss. What's this? Pop up on me, man. Don't pop up on me now. Pop up on me now, boss. Let's go. All right, man. We good. So all these sources of water have one unifying property, the so-called fourth phase water. While it may seem hard to understand, this water is simply H3O2, a state of water which can be called structure and is extremely pure and accessible to the body. The reason why is because this water is not in a free state. It is structured in a hexagonal lattice with the surrounding water. Individual H2O molecules form loose ionic bonds, creating H3O2 lattice. While this water is not free in the same way as H2O, it has more viscosity and forms the basis for creating cellular life. So a lot of what we just read before. All right, jumping in here. This is an interesting link right here. Lambda Geeks, LAMBDAGEKS. Click all the links below, man. I'm just jumping around. All right. Let me just kind of get to the middle when they talk about these structures, though. Okay. And they're going to talk about solubility, man. Let's just jump on this because we're going to get into that a little later. Is H3O soluble in water? Yes, it produces OH negative and H3O plus ions. And one of these links, instead of ions, is going to say anions. And I said, what? Anions? I said, this whole time, ions is anion? Oh, man. in the water is soluble in water. Of course, that's the most important part because you're talking about cellular rejuvenation, restoration, life, right? We're just talking life. Electrolytes is H3O plus or H3O, an electrolyte. The solution will conduct electricity very poorly or not at all if H3O have been the stronger acid. Its attraction to oppositely charged ions is so powerful that the hydrogen ion bonds to a molecule of water to create the hydronium ion H3O, denoting the absence of free hydrogen in the water. It forms H3O when H2O gains a hydrogen because they readily donate hydrogen. Strong acids are good examples of strong electrolytes because their dissociation to water is almost entirely complete. And even though they call them acids, that's the same thing as like when they were talking about the fulvic acid. And we got that before, and we'll dismount with some more of it. But, fulvic acid is the elixir of life, right? Fulvic acid is coming right out the soil, right out the deep, bio organic, what I'm saying, pure ama, what I'm saying. That's when you got the Shilajit flow, what I'm saying. So they just got the scientific terms. Don't let them throw you. This fulvic acid is 100% water soluble. You know what I'm saying? It's the reason why Shilajit is able to penetrate all of these aging and, you know, damaged cells and cellular membranes and all this stuff like that. It says scientists have known for years that everyone requires at least 90 nutrients to obtain or maintain optimum health. These nutrients include 17 vitamins, 59 minerals, 12 amino acids, and 3 essential fatty acids. While nature has provided us with all these nutrients to enable us to live a long and healthy life, unfortunately, the processing of foods and the depletion of nutrients in our soils are some of the biggest reasons for nutrient deficiencies within our bodies. As we talk about holding on to the nutrients, sometimes when you overhydrate on H2O, you end up urinating out some of those nutrients you need to keep, right? So you don't just want to flush it out like that. You want to properly hydrate. Fortunately, scientists have found that fulvic acid, an element found in soil, right? So again, we talk about fine in the depth of Amma, makes nutrients more available from the food we ingest and thus corrects deficiencies quickly and safely. So you look up fulvic acid. We're gonna talk more about it, but element found in humus, the highly nutritious layer of the earth. I'm not talking about the the dip with the, what I'm saying, pita chips. I'm just talking about the highly nutritious layer of the earth. Okay. Partially decomposed matter is the basis of humus and peat, P-E-A-T. It is this highly nutritious layer that feeds plants and ensures that they grow strong and healthy. This extraordinary compound is created in extremely small amounts by millions of beneficial microbes that work on the decaying plant matter. It combines with a variety of minerals to create a complex molecule compound. It works to activate the nutrients within soil so that they can be utilized by the cells of plants. It is often termed nature's miracle molecule, and for good reason. Unfortunately, modern farming practices have destroyed our soils, leaving them devoid of minerals. Just like Yosef said, everything's been chapped up, right? And have thus disrupted the proliferation of this miracle molecule in the soil and therefore in vegetation and animals, in effect within our food, just like our plants, just like our veggies, just like our fruits. Fulvic acid is also the basis of a thick tar-like substance often referred to as Shilajit, fulvic acid, Shilajit. And we did a whole drop on the Shilajit, man. It's that natural kind of black tar, that's just been composed of all of this, what they say, decaying plant matter, and all this, man. Look, man, it contains at least 85 minerals. Like it got all the drop. It's called the conqueror of everything because it can conquer almost any disease or whatever they say. That's what they say, and there's real science behind it, man. So, but you gotta be careful who you get it from, right? You know what I mean? You gotta do your recon, and we are still, trying to get a real Shilajit plug because it's also called gilsonite in Utah. Ain't that something? Shilajit is gilsonite in Utah, named after some jabroni named Gilson. So we can get a hold of that gilsonite. We up, my guy. We up, all right. So the point is, they're finding this on the rocks of the high mountain ranges like the Himalayas, but also it's in Utah. Like its action in soil, this compound serves as an essential vehicle that carries vitamins and nutrients to the right place in our bodies. It is so powerful that one single molecule is capable of carrying 65 or more minerals. That's why you just need like a little dab. You can get the tar, you can dab it in warm, hot water, whatever. You can let it dissolve. You just get the minerals, man. Trace elements directly into our cells. This is just one of the properties that provides fulvic acid, right? Keep using that word acid, even though we're talking alkaline, even though we're talking, you know, negative and positive charges. We're talking energy, right? So this provides fulvic acid with the ability to have a dramatic impact on all types of diseases and concerns. And we can keep reading. We're talking about being a super cell conductor, man. So when they talk acid, back to this drop. Strong acids, right? We talking fulvic acids, right? But we talking 100% water solubility. But not. Is H3O acidic or basic? There are 8 valence electrons in the Lewis structure of H3O. We have lost a valence electron in H3O as indicated by the sign plus sign in the Lewis structure. Therefore, the H3O plus Lewis structure only has 8 valence electrons, H3O plus, which is classified as an acid. Why is H3O acid? The hydronium ion is the designated Lewis acid in this instance. It only serves as the source of the protein that interacts with the Lewis base. So again, we're talking Lewis structures and Lewis bases. So now you're in the mind of Lewis, man. You know what I mean? Now, these reconers, trying to put this together. All right. How is H3O acidic? Hydrogen attacks water solvent to form hydronium H3O. In reality, hydrogen plus H2O gives H3O, hydrogen protons, H3O, hydronium ion, and H3O AQ. Don't know what that is. I consider it the same. These terms are used interchangeably. So H3O, a strong acid, is H3O a strong acid? Dilute aqueous solutions contained only H3O as the strongest acid. Dilute aqueous solutions contain only H3O. So, I'm not really sure how to translate, how they are construing acidic or, whatever, but we know that when we talk fulvic acid, we're talking water solubility. And I assume we're still talking water solubility because you're talking about H3O, the water that's in your body. Water becomes H3O, an acid that is known as the conjugate conjugate acid of water when it acts as a base. Acids are substances that dissolve to give H3O ions. H3O should then be the strongest acid that is available since it doesn't even require dissociation to function. In the presence of water, the hydronium ion becomes acidic. This occurs when water molecules interact to form H3O, which serves as a base in a chemical reaction and is a conjugate acid for water. Yeah, man, it's recon on recon. This is why we're doing it. So we're learning this acid talk. And again, when they talk acid talk, you know what I mean? They're not, automatically talking something that, oh, okay, it's something bad. You know what I mean? I'm just trying to get clarity myself. You know what I mean? So because we know folic acid is a super cell conductor, we're talking water solubility, and we'll get more on it because got some good tabs up to do a dismount to. Let's keep digging on it, man. Let's talk about the biohydroxide. Put your science hats on, man. We're about to get real sciencey for my science heads, man. From pubs.acs.org. Let's go. ACS publications. What you talking? Oh wow, yeah, yeah. So this the one that put the anion, so we keep hearing the ion. I just had this up. It's a study with Camille Abu Dari, Kenneth and Raymond, and Derek P. Freyberg. And it's at the biohydroxide or H3O2. And I said, what? Anion. What does anion got to do with this, man? For the wave servers only. Huh? What does the straight of anion got to do with this, man? A very short symmetric hydrogen bond. Yeah, I mean, so this is just a good little reference point for my noggins that want to go deeper into this. They can pull this up. They can, I guess you can order this study. You can get it in completion if you want from my science heads. But they talking about the bonds, man, from the Journal of American Chemical Society. And really, I got this up because we're going to get these other articles that's acting like this stuff is malarkey. And here we see a perspective view of the structure of H3O2 anion. I said, I can't make this up, Bo. It wasn't no typo. We talking anion. All right. And the weak hydrogen bonding formed between it and adjacent water of crystallization. What's it got to do with the straight of anion? My point is they ain't acting like this ain't it's no play. Like this is real, scientific recon being done. These aren't people playing with us trying to sell us some product. This is people talking about H3O2. So before we get these other articles acting like we crazy, or these scientists are crazy for even discussing H3O, or H3O2. But we still talking anion. We still talking anion. What does Dr. Like to say about it, man? I got a couple quick drops discussing Dr. Pollock discussing his theory, man. So let's hear it from the horse's mouth, man. He's popping all. Let's see what we got to say about it. And y'all still surfing the wave with me? Because I'm surfing the wave with you, man. We are really wave surfing in real time. We're talking wavelengths. We're talking light. We're talking particle, quantum, electromagnetics, man. Of course, this got to pop off a little differently with the melanated noggins, right? Melanin plays. We're talking dragon, unknown substance that they can't even front on. All right, let's see what Dr. Pollock got to say. Fall back, man. Ain't no rush, man. Lego. Sometimes you just gotta vibrate to the flutes, man, while they get their bodies of water. That water. Shout out Ted, whoever you are. Appreciate it, man. We're gonna let this load up a little bit, man.
Water, cells, and life. That covers a lot of ground. But I want to be more specific. I want to talk about where do we get our energy? Now, obviously, we get a lot of energy from food, but I'm going to introduce the idea that we might get additional energy from light. Now, why do I raise this question? Well, I raise the question because nature commonly uses light to supply energy. For example, green algae. They photosynthesize, they take in light, and the light creates energy. And the same is true of some bacteria. They also photosynthesize. But what we know best, of course, is green plants. So green plants soak up light and convert that light into chemical energy. And that chemical energy then drives whatever the plant does, metabolism, growth, bending, you name it. And all of this works through water. The roots of the plant absorb water, and that water goes to the leaves. And what happens in the leaves is that when they receive light, they take the water that's inside them and split the water into positive and negative, H plus, OH minus. This is the first step of photosynthesis, and it's driven by light. So light, you might say light creates this kind of battery with plus and minus. And the question is, are we also solar powered? Do we use light to get some of our energy? And I'll tell you that we actually do. We engage in the first step of photosynthesis, that is the splitting of water into the negative and the positive. Mother Nature, when she created us, hasn't forsaken this wonderful mechanism of using light to get energy. And I'll show you also that leads to many insights in terms of our own health. Everybody knows that our body is mostly water. And in our laboratory at the University of Washington, we're studying water, and we came upon something really interesting. When water meets certain materials, these are hydrophilic or water-loving materials, which means that if you have a surface and you drop the water, it spreads out instead of beating up the way it does, for example, on Teflon. So what happens is that the water molecules slip into positive and negative. And the negative ones line up, as you see here, next to the hydrophilic material. This is actually negatively charged water. It's in fact a different phase of water. It's not even H2O, it's actually H3O2, is what we found. And we refer to this fourth phase, if you will, of water, that is beyond solid, liquid, and vapor. This fourth phase is semi-crystalline water as EZ. So what's EZ? EZ stands for Exclusion Zone.
Okay, now we know.
The reason we called it
we said we was gonna come up with the answer. Here we go, man. I told y'all, man, be patient. We're gonna figure out easy exclusion zone. So you're gonna see exclusion zone a lot. You're gonna see hexagonal water. You're gonna see EZ. You're gonna see, H3O. All that. These are structured. All these are code words for pretty much the same thing. So when you look at these different experimentations and different things, all these are kind of words, to refer to the same theory. That's not just a Dr. Gerald situation. This is stuff that can be linked, to many scientific studies once you start digging on H3O2. Let's go.
Called it exclusion zone when we found it is as this phase of water builds, it pushes out everything that's inside of the water, that is solutes, particles, whatever. And so we called it logically exclusion zone, and EZ is, well, easy to remember. So essentially this is potential energy because it's just like a battery of water. And all batteries, of course, need to get charged, and the question is, well, where does the energy come from to charge this battery? Your cell phone needs to get charged, it's a battery, and this is another battery. And the answer came from a student who was doing something that he was not supposed to do. So he was carrying out an experiment, and this experiment is using some hydrophilic material and putting water next to it, just as I've shown you. He took a lamp. The lamp was sitting right next to the experimental chamber, and just for fun, he shined the lamp on the chamber, and what he saw was really astonishing. He noticed that because of the illumination, the exclusion zone, or EZ, expands. And it expanded hugely, and when he took the lamp away, it came back to its original shape, which is a thin band of EZ you see at the upper left running parallel to the surface. So, well, it didn't take a rocket scientist to figure out that you shine light, it gets bigger, and maybe the light is what's responsible, the photons are responsible for providing the energy to grow this exclusion zone. So obviously
what happens when they keep spraying the skies and the sun can't come through to give light? Any answers? Well, you don't have such big of an exclusion zone. And the hijack don't like to be excluded.
We were really impressed by this student's result, and we began to study different wavelengths of light, ranging from the ultraviolet through the visible light through the infrared light, and we found that by far the most effective light was infrared. Infrared is actually all over. It's hard to get rid of, and it's not just inside, it's outside too. And this is literally free energy. We learned about free energy in our chemistry textbooks, but this is...
Whoa, we talking Tesla now. So we ain't just talking about light from the sun, we're talking about free energy. Dang. So what are these towers they're putting up all over the place? How's that affecting the light? How's that affecting the free energy? Man, I mean, boss, we didn't say we had the answers, but we gonna dang sure come up with the right questions. We on an investigation. We on a warpath, boss.
It's literally free. It doesn't cost you a nickel. It's there. And because it's there all the time, it means that when you have water next to a hydrophilic material, you always have EZ water. And of course, if you add more light, then the EZ grows. You see, so light is basically feeding the growth. So this feature, this light-induced separation of charge, can also be used to get electrical energy from light and water. All you need to do, at least in theory, is stick two electrodes in, one in the negative, one in the positive, and you ought to be able to get electricity to light a light bulb. We've demonstrated that this is actually the case. You can see here, you flip the switch and you get the light. So just as water behaves as a light-driven battery, cells actually operate much the same way, also as a light-driven battery.
And that's why these batteries have cells. They're constructed exactly the way it sounds, exactly the way it is. Your body is a battery. You got negative, positive charges. You ground your feet in the soil, right? You charge up. You're charging your battery. They block the light. They're inhibiting the exclusion zone. But when we tap into the free energy, the infrared, it's almost like we just got to get out of our own way, you know what I mean? And let HaWah pop us off.
It's something you perhaps never thought of. But think about the cell and what's inside. So inside the cell, you've got large macromolecules, mostly proteins. And these proteins have hydrophilic surfaces. And of course, there's water, lots of water inside the cell. And so what happens is that there are exclusion zones. You have EZ water, which has negative charge. And the positive charges would be lying beyond those negative charges. So the reality is the cell is really crowded with proteins mostly, and this negative EZ practically fills the cell. And what happens is that the positive charges are pushed out and the cell is negative. But negative charges near each other, they repel. They want to get away from one another.
Okay.
And that tendency to repel constitutes potential energy. And this potential energy is basically released in the form of protein folding. That is, the proteins ordinarily occupy one configuration, but they fold. They start this way and they fold into another configuration. So, for example, if this were a muscle cell, the proteins would be in one configuration. They move to another configuration, and that's what is responsible for your muscle cells contracting, and it allows you to jump. So the way it works, it looks like this. On the left side, here is a typical protein in its extended form, and it's got easy water around it. And what happens is the easy water melts into ordinary water, and the protein is able to fold. But of course, it's got to go back to the original position. And what happens is it does as easy water builds around it. So this is the normal function of a typical protein. And on the right side, imagine what happens with no EZ. You see, with no EZ, it doesn't have the potential to get back to its original configuration. And so it's not working. So your muscle, or whatever cell, is not working properly if it doesn't have EZ.
I know we don't all have our science hats on, but any lies detected yet? Is he scamming us? Do you feel that vibration of a scam? Like they want to call this some type of preposterous, it's preposterous, you know what I'm saying? Preposterous. Big science word. It's impossible. It's preposterous is what that preposterous. Preposterous. You know what I'm saying? I don't speak hijack that well. Do you feel any lies he's telling? Or is he investigating hydrogen and oxygen? Negative, positive, charged, cellular, particles, quantum, and electromagnetics. Are we investigating life since water is life?
Easy water. Of course, if you have some easy water, then it functions, but not quite as well as if you have a full complement of easy.
Right, boss. If you have some, you know what I mean, of this proper water, which we always kind of have some, we have enough to live, right? But not quite as well as if you have a full complement of easy water. Man, if you was full of that, man, who would you be? How high can you jump? Can a naga fly? If you are the light, and we're talking about light travel, right? Speed of light, my naga. Super naga. We trying to get you to the primary mem sauce. Yo, Seth, take the wheel. We trying to get him to the water.
Easy water. You have potential energy from the EZ, which drives the work of the cell.
Come on.
Light, as I said.
You have potential energy. What's your potential? Your potential is infinite, boss.
That is responsible for building the EZ and building negative charge. And
no. Building naga charge. Naga.
That's what gives the cell its energy. And then the energy is consumed as these proteins do the work of the cell, your work, and fold. And if you just connect the dots between the two, so light is actually driving the work of your cells, or light is actually driving your function.
Bang.
Well, also inside the cell are structures called mitochondria, and they're known as the energy factory of the cell, central for energy production. And how might that work in terms of the framework of what I've been presenting? Well, look at those membranes inside the cell. Those membranes are hydrophilic surfaces. And as I mentioned, next to hydrophilic surfaces, EZs build. So this is a perfect configuration for building EZs and negative charge and contributing that to the rest of the cell for energy. So where do we get our energy? Well, we get it from food. And obviously, we can get quite a lot of energy under certain circumstances. But we also get it from light. And the light is absorbed by the water, and that light absorption builds easy and creates energy. Should this matter to you? Well, yeah, I think so. Light matters for function and therefore for health, and water matters for function and therefore for health, because they all build EZs, and the EZs are needed for proper function. So, for your health, what builds easy water in your cells? Well, there are a few things we can think about. First of all, drinking water. Well, water is the raw material for building easy water, and so obviously you need to be hydrated in order to function properly. Green juicing. The juice is the inside of the cells of the plant. So you're basically extracting easy water from the plant cells and putting it into your cells. Good strategy, and that's why many integrative medical health professionals suggest that green juicing is the single easiest and best way to maintain your health because of EZ, I believe. There are some substances that are known through the millennia to be good for health, and these are just a couple of examples. Turmeric, coconut water. We've studied a half dozen of these experimentally in the laboratory. And we found that putting a certain amount in the water, an amount that corresponds to the amount that might be in your body, builds EZ. It's not published yet, but we're onto it. Sunshine, you go out in the sun, you feel good, you feel healthy, good to be alive. Well,
Let me get that back. Let me get that back for a stack.
builds EZ. It's not published yet, but we're onto it. Some substances that are known through the millennia to be good for health, and these are just a couple of examples. Turmeric, coconut water. We studied a half dozen of these.
So to my naga ass in the comments, all right, man. We getting right to your comments, man. This coconut water got that H3O, and yo, it builds the H3O. It builds EZ. Okay, the exclusion zone is built with coconut water, that turmeric flow, green juicing, plant cell water, raw material, right, for building EZ. All right, I mean, so still drink your water so you can build EZ, but now we're talking about getting right to it, right, with the H3O2 drop. You see how we are rebuilding, how we can get the living water even without having to take some mass exodus to get to some magical lake, that we can tap into the water right inside of us, that the fountain of youth is already in us because you already got it, Con. Let go.
Experimentally in the laboratory. And we found that putting a certain amount in the water, an amount that corresponds to the amount that might be in your body, builds EZ. It's not published yet, but we're onto it. Sunshine, you go out in the sun, you feel good, you feel healthy, good to be alive. Well,
Sunlight
light that you receive builds EZ.
Let's go.
And the sauna is perhaps even more effective because the heat.
I got to dig on this infrared light sauna flow. I never heard of that one, but let's go.
Means that it's generating infrared light. And infrared light is what builds EZ powerfully and effectively. And that's why you feel good after you.
So we need EZ. We need an exclusion zone. We need H3O, not just H2O. And we know that if we just get in that infrared, we can charge up with the EZ, according to these scientific studies from Dr. Gerald Pollack. Let's get the last minute.
Do you come out of the sauna? And finally, grounding, sometimes called earthing, connecting yourself to the ground. Well, you can do this by taking off your shoes and walking on the beach. You see, and you feel good. And why you feel good? Well, it might be some psychological issue, but you're connecting yourself to the earth. And the earth has been known for a century to be negatively charged. It's a vast repository, practically infinite repository of negative charge. So you
Naga charge, not negative, naga charge. So you can ground them anyway. Some people don't like to just walk around barefoot. You don't know what you're gonna step in. You know what I mean? Hey, hit the beach up, walk in the sand. You know, however you gotta navigate it, man. But I like this talk. because I'm not trying to sell you a product. I don't see him selling you a product yet. However, we can say, can the Nagas get more fruit and veggies? Yes. Can the Nagas walk barefoot in the right spots to get their charge up, to get their Naga charge? Yes. Any lies detected in that? So if all we do is eat more fruit and veggies and take off our shoes, man, I think we won. I think we already won. Natural by law, take the wheel.
So you soak up this negative charge, which then builds EZ. So are we solar powered? I think we are, like many other living species. And Mother Nature didn't abandon this wonderful mechanism of using light from the sun to give us energy and confer health. And the way this happens, the evidence is showing that this happens through splitting of water, just like the first step of photosynthesis. So we undergo, not just plants, we undergo the first step in photosynthesis.
Ooh, he said the splitting of water. I know some of y'all got y'all Genesis hats on, man. We talking Nagas. Separating the water from the water. And the same process is happening. Get it back. He's talking about the splitting of water. When the light is pop. Oh, man, it's getting way Genesis in this. Let's go.
Through splitting of water, just like the first step of photosynthesis. And we
Just like the first step with Genesis, right? Come on.
undergo, not just plants, we undergo the first step in photosynthesis.
Wow.
Well,
Wow. So the splitting of the water from the water is the photosynthesis. Natural by law. Man, natural by law got a track called photosynthesizing, man. Natural had to drop the whole time.
our cells need energy, just like cell phones need energy. And some of them that comes from light, not just food, but light. And within limits, the more light we get, the healthier we are. So seek the sun. Thank you.
That's dope. That's dope. I mean, all he did was say, get some sunlight, man. Get some sunlight, take your shoes off, eat some fruits, and eat your veggies, man. Now let's get into quickly. Let's scroll through a couple of just show you how Hijack City operate when these type of things are presented. This is, shout out to TED Talks, by the way, man. Great platform to get some drop, man. What can I say? MissBar.com. All right. So these are their fact checkers. Here comes the fact check. H3O2 is not the purest water on Earth. Bulls. H3O2 is a form of the claim is that H3O2 is a form of extremely pure water that is found in fruits and vegetables, healthier than regular H2O. Okay. So we gotta, here we gotta be non-biased. We're on investigation. So let's flip the coin. Let's see what they're saying. The claim that H3O2 is a healthier or more hydrating form of water has existed for years. A number of alternative health specialists have spread the purported benefits of H3O2, and several products are available that can supposedly make it. Alright, I guess they're just showing some tabs. So here's Miss Barr's analysis, whoever this is. Alright, so we found it. That the claims surrounding H3O2 are a well-known hoax that have been debunked. So they always say something's been debunked without actually debunking. They throw some scientific terms around. They call it fake. They say fake news. They say fact checkers. They never reveal who these people are, these fact checkers. But it's all good. I'm going to be non-biased, but they're going to call it a hoax, right? It's hard to be non-biased, man, when they're calling a third hydrogen bond a hoax. When we just went through all this science, and you're saying that investigating another hydrogen connecting to oxygen is a hoax? Why? We're talking hydrogen and oxygen. Debunked a number of times. Also called hexagonal structured water. Alternative health websites and Facebook pages have pushed this supposed special form of water for years. Okay, let's go. However, no reputed sources have ever been able to back any of their claims. chemically speaking, here we go. Put on your science hats again. You gotta be non-biased about this investigation. H3O2 would be a biohydroxide anion. Here we go again with the anion. The H3O2 bond only lasts for about 200 femtoseconds. I never heard of a femtosecond, but I guess it's mighty fast. It also has a different chemical formula than H2O. Okay, and therefore would be an entirely different compound. So they're saying that they wouldn't get along. This got to be a hoax because H3O2 don't even mess with H2O because this H3O2 bond only lasts so fast, man, that it's going to have a different chemical formula. The bond lasts too quickly to matter. Man. They ain't bonded enough. Therefore, it's an entirely different compound. Hexagonal water was listed as a scam in Walter Wise's 2017 book of drinking water scams. So that's why, man, it was listed in Walter Wise's 2017 book that hexagonal water is a scam. I wonder why, boss. I wonder who put it there. Wired also covered. Somebody else also said the expensive machine sold to convert regular water H2O to structured water, calling it an appalling scam. They're worried about the schemes of how to get H3O to the people. We know there are people that's gonna be scamming and scheming. That ain't nothing new. That doesn't change the science. And did they say that the bond don't exist? Or did they say, oh, but it only lasts for 200 femtoseconds? Show me your experiment showing this 200 femtoseconds, please. You didn't say it don't exist. You just said it lasts for such a short time. Okay, all right. All right, that's one article. Let's get another one. Non-biased investigation. Surfing away. US UNSW.edu. All right, don't fall for the snake oil claims of structured water. A chemist explains why it's nonsense. All right, let's talk to another expert. Structured water, hexagonal water. I mean, let's jump right into it. With the Feezy. It said a few weeks ago, Kourtney Kardashian's Poosh website was spruiking a $2,500 structured water filter. All right, so people making a lot of loot off of this structured water. That's what they say. So it got to be a scam. As a professor of chemistry, I can tell you easy water is nonsense, but let's talk about what it's supposed to be and how it's supposed to work. So easy water has origins and observations by Dr. Gerald Pollack, professor of bioengineering at the University of Washington. He was studying the behavior of water near hydrophilic surfaces. They keep saying that term. I just want to make sure we got some understanding on what this is, man. Hydrophilic. Definition. Having a tendency to mix with, dissolve in, or be wetted by water. So something that will mix with water. A molecule or other molecular entity that is attracted to water molecules tends to be dissolved. So something that is very soluble. Okay. So he was studying water, behavior of water near hydrophilic surfaces, places that can be mixed with water, which are made of materials that are very strong, have a very strong attraction to water. Pollack found that the water pushes away objects such as plastic, microspheres, salt, and even dye molecules from the region close to a very hydrophilic surface. Pollack's explanation for this behavior is that the structure of water changes in the exclusion zone. While water molecules are made of two hydrogen atoms and one oxygen atom, H2O, Pollack believes EZ water has an extra hydrogen atom and an extra oxygen atom, forming H3O2. This chain supposedly results in a negative electric charge and a layered hexagonal network arrangement of atoms in the water. Hydrophilic surfaces exist in the cells of the human bodies, so some have argued EZ water is more natural than ordinary water and therefore must have manifold health benefits. Tenuous claim. All right, let's just get to. All right, let's have a look at these claims. Some of them are plausible while some are preposterous. So some are plausible. Okay. We know the water behaves differently near an interference or interface with another substance because it is no longer only interacting with only water molecules or other water molecules. Surface tension is a familiar example of this phenomenon. We also know that the water behaves differently if it is confined in a very small space on a scale of billionth of a meter. As such, there is no special reason to be immediately skeptical of Pollack's experimental findings about the behavior of water in the exclusion zone. They are indeed interesting, and many aspects have been reproduced. So they're saying even the hijack, or even those that are going against this or just trying to reproduce this experimentation that Dr. Pollack has done, have actually been reproduced by science. Okay, all right. But Pollack's explanations for the behavior have no basis, so they reproduce the study, but they're going to change the explanation of the study. They're not saying they can't reproduce it. Remember, science should be repeatable, observable, right? You should be able to reproduce it. They can do that, which makes Dr. Pollack a scientist because they can reproduce, right? Many have been reproduced. However, they want to change the explanation. They're trying to say his explanations have no basis. Let's go, man. Follow the atoms. If water somehow changed into H3O2, forms simple arithmetic shows that the two molecules H2O into one H3O2 would leave an extra hydrogen atom floating around. Come on, boss. This is how they attacking something that makes perfect common sense. If water somehow changed into H3O2 forms, simple arithmetic shows that turning two molecules of H2O into one would leave an extra hydrogen atom floating around. We would expect to see this hydrogen released as H2 gas. Alternatively, the reaction would need to bring in extra oxygen from the air. A simple experiment would show that neither of these happen. Would show, but they're not actually showing the experiment. Easy water, for all its interesting properties, cannot be anything but H2O. Pollack does not propose the H3O2 structure in a peer review, because he didn't propose this in a peer-reviewed publication. They got an issue. And other explanations have put forth to explain his published experimental findings. And the hexagonal structure for H3O2, which Pollack proposes, if stable and rigid, would not flow like a liquid. He didn't say it was a liquid. But let's go. Water has no memory? Whoa, we know this is Capri. Because water has memory. We're talking mem sauce, right? Water remembers. Even in their hijack movies like Frozen, it talks about the memory of water. But suppose water in the exclusion zone did not or did have some special structure. Could it be bottled and keep its property? All signs point to no. In water with a neutral pH, neither acidic or alkaline, about one molecule in every billion has an extra hydrogen atom that is jumped across from another molecule. This creates one positively charged H3O anion and one negatively charged OH ion. The extra protons that make H3O ion are highly mobile, they rapidly leap from one molecule to another. This happens so fast that each of the hydrogen atoms in a given water molecule is replaced 1,000 times each second. This is what they're trying to do to debunk that this bond, like they're attacking, even though they reproduce this stuff, they're attacking the fact that this bond can be stable, right? Or fluid enough. But what experimentation are they giving to the contrary? Sounds like a bunch of paid for scientists, paid off scientists, just chiming in with some sciencey words. There is also short-lived attraction between the oxygen atom in one molecule and the hydrogen atom in a neighboring molecule called hydrogen bonds, okay? In liquid water at room temperature, these bonds only last millionth of a second. The rapid movement of hydrogen atoms and the flickering, so they're trying to make like this stuff so unstable. And the flickering on and off of hydrogen bonds mean that any structure in easy water would dissipate very quickly. In bulk, they're just speaking theoretically because they're not doing the experiments themselves. And the ones they're doing from Dr. Pollack are being repeated. They are being, what was their word for it? Oh, reproduce, yeah. So is the argument against the bond itself, saying it's too unstable because it's happening too fast, or is it against the explanation from this Dr. Pollack scientist versus their explanation of the same study? Water is water. What's it all add up to? Put simply, it is not possible to buy any other type of water than regular water. Now this sounds like Hijack City. You telling us we can't get living water? We talking living water. They saying no. Please don't buy nothing other than regular water. You can change the pH, you can change the dissolved ions and gases, but not the water itself. The snake oil merchants selling structured water products are use scientific sounding words, just like you, boss, just like you, that are generally meaningless and are at best based on misinterpretations and abuses of Pollack's experiment. So the experiments that you can reproduce, you're mad at the interpretation. Now you're calling it misinterpretation and an abuse because it's against what you've interpreted, right? The explanation has to be your interpretation. Pollack distances himself from most companies selling structured water products. He has his own structured water company, which among other products sells a filterless water filter. All right, so he's doing what he's doing. All right. And Wiki is always funny style. You know what I'm saying? They like to jump in Wiki and, disarm the people, man. Oh, hexagonal water, also known as gel water, structured water, clustered water, H3O2, is a term used in a marketing scam? Come on. So we ain't even gonna get into the science and the bonds and all that. We just gonna call it a marketing scam for people that want to sell so-called living water. Not even gonna talk about hydration. So you telling us that the water that our body needs is what we're getting out the store? Or out the fruits, out of Amma, right? Out the earth, right? So they just don't want you to depend on no other water but the water that they providing in the bottles, man. Remember the other dude said just drink regular water. It's all the same, regular water. The term hexagonal water refers to a cluster of water molecules forming an hexagonal shape that supposedly enhances nutrient absorption. removes metabolic waste, and enhances cellular communication, among other things. The scam, now they back to the scam. The scam only refers to the hijacks that's trying to come up off of this. It's not referring to those that are trying to bring people into higher understanding, higher health, right? Awareness. So the scam takes advantage of customers' limited knowledge of chemistry, physics, and physiology. So does public school. You know, jail water is referenced in a version of the hoax in which plants or animal fascia. What we talking about, man? Membranous, microscopic membranous body structures. All right, are said to create and contain a fourth phase of water with an extra hydrogen and an extra oxygen, despite the reality that this compound is neither water nor stable. In other words, it does not exist in any practical. So now it just don't exist. Before they said the bond don't last that long. Now they saying, oh, it don't exist. That's two different things. You can't say the bond dissipates and just doesn't last long, and then you saying it just don't exist. What they say? Okay, okay. Yeah, it's just happening so fast. So any bulk of water structure that is different from the usual kind that flows from our taps does not last much longer than a few milliseconds of a millionth of a second, right? Because this happens so fast. It's just gonna dissipate. Flickering on and off a hydrogen bomb. It's just gonna dissipate. They didn't say it don't exist. Now you saying in Wikipedia. Now you saying it don't exist. In practical sense, that doesn't mean it doesn't exist, but not in the practical sense of being able to be used in your expert opinion. Incompatibilities with science, you know what I'm saying? So, hey, although water molecules strongly absorb energy in the infrared, we just read that or got that from Dr. Pollard of the electromagnetic spectrum, there is no scientific evidence that supports the claim that hexagonal shaped water polymers will be created through bombardment of energy of these frequencies. What are you talking about? This is what they're doing. They're doing this experimentation using the infrared, showing that it increases the EZ, increases the exclusion zone with the light, different types of light, sunlight, infrared light. Oh, but you need more science. Oh, you need some peer reviewed science, peer reviewed scientific evidence. That's what they call it. No scientific evidence supporting the claim that hexagon shaped water polymers would be created or the easy zone will be popping off through bombardment of energy that's all around us anyway. Okay. So they going however, extra mile to try to get ahead of this thing. They don't want you getting none of this living water. They don't want you surfing the wave, right? They don't want you talking about exclusion zones, because the hijack don't want to be excluded. We talking living water, highly structured water. Water's underappreciated. Your muscle consists of 99% water molecules, but the water in your cells is not regular water, but highly structured water with special properties. It is also known as exclusion zone water, EZ water, defined by Dr. Gerald Pollack. And they're going to go into the science that the other folks are acting like don't exist, which is crazy. First, they're saying they can reproduce the joint, but they just disagree with the explanations, and he was just off. he was off with the explanation, and then they say that it don't exist, and they say that it's flickering, happening so fast that it just don't matter. Then they say it don't exist in the practical form, but that doesn't mean it don't exist. All right, so I'm dropping these links on you, man, and you can dig on this stuff, you know what I mean, and get your own investigation popping. Maintaining a state of alkalinity and negative charge in your cells and body appears to be important for optimum health. Drinking water can be optimized in a variety of different ways by injecting light energy or physical energy into the water by vortexing, for example. This is fairly easy using magnets. Victor Schallberger did much of the pioneering work on vortexing about 100 years ago. Then they bring in the Tesla flow with the energy, being free energy, right? You put all that together, you popping off. And you put that with the primary water, you out of here, man. Come on, man. So, hey, we on an investigation. I got a couple more people chiming in as we make our dismount. We're talking H3O, H3O2, structured water, easy water, exclusion zones, all that, man. We talking all that. What's my aqua over here, man, talking about my black girl roots talk. Shout out to Triderica Ho. Let's see what the queen got to say. The purest water on earth. She's talking about watermelon juice. Okay, all right. You can have is from your fruit. So if the least we do is bring you back to your fruits, man, eating actual, you know, ama born fruit, and that's a good step, man. It's a great step. Okay, okay. Living water. Talking that life, man. Let's go, let's go. On this play, my bad, y'all. You know how they do when we start talking about life. Let this thing load up. But yeah, man. So once you start digging on it, you're gonna have, you're gonna get some good opinions.
Fresh homemade watermelon juice. Did you know that fresh fruit juices can hydrate you better than water? Specifically the ones that have a high water content like watermelon. Strawberries, cantaloupes, pineapples all have a high water content as well. If you love fruit the way
Hey, write it down, take notes. Strawberries, cantaloupe, watermelon, cucumbers, my night.
that you know that it hydrates you way better than water, it really quenches your thirst. That's because it's H3O2 versus H2O. Watermelon juice will be considered living water. So not only does it hydrate you, but you're getting those vitamins and minerals in your body as well. Also, juicing your watermelon is really budget friendly if you like juicing. That one mini watermelon gave me two 32-ounce jars.
Okay.
It was just $4.99 for me.
Okay.
And of course, we always prefer seeded, and that season is coming soon. So next time you want to hydrate your body, throw away those sugary processed juices and do a fresh juice.
Bang, yeah, man. I mean, I gotta get my juicer out the attic, man. I gotta get more juicing, man. You got people selling coconuts, man. That's like, yo, man, buy my coconut. My coconut got H3O2. I'm not telling you to buy anybody specific coconuts, but this is how they slanging their coconuts. NaturalWholeFruits.com. It says our fresh young coconut is filled up fully with fresh coconut water, fresh coconut meat. This water is not a sweet, delicious living. This water is a sweet, delicious, living, structured water, which is not H2O. So they banging on H2, they're letting you know it's coconut water. It is scientifically the fourth phase of water, the coconut. It is not just two hydrogen molecules plus one oxygen molecule. It is three hydrogen molecules and two oxygen molecules. And this is known as H3O2, not H2O. It is also known as hexagonal water due to its complete hexagonal. And, that hexagonal shape, form, you know what I'm saying? It's found in the trees when you see this, hexagonal cones of the petrified giant trees and all that, man. Hexagonal forms are all throughout natural nature, right? So it is also known as hexagonal water due to its complete hexagonal-like structure. Under a microscope, we can yield more energy from it. God. And it delivers more energy to us. We're just talking energy, frequency, and vibration for the dismount. Let's go. H3O2 converts back to H3O in the human body. H3O is a structured gel water that the human body is scientifically 72% of and is found nowhere outside of the body, not in any foods nor bodies of water. Although coconut water H3O2 actually converts back into the water that we need to be hydrated when it gets into the body. Coconut water is the highest food in electrolytes, which is what hydrates us on a cellular level. Coconut specifically is the most hydrating thing on the plane. By far, nothing comes close to it. Coconut water and the coconut meat inside of the coconut is high in iron. It's popping off, man. All right, so you can get your coconuts from here, wherever, man. But they didn't say it was some hoax, man. We just talking the structure of water. AcupunctureToday.com is also talking about the structure of water. I link to it, man. You can read this in your own time as well. But structured water, H3O2, can be considered a fourth state of water. All right, a stainless steel needle is by its nature hydrophilic. When inserted in the body, it comes in contact with extracellular fluid, which is mostly water. Okay. Structured water can also drive fluid flow, so it may even be at least partly responsible for the flow in the meridians, just like it can drive blood flow in the capillaries. We're talking about the flow, man, the blood, the mem. Let's go. Structured water, H2O2, can be considered a fourth state of water between liquid and solid. It has a hexagonal structure of ice. Okay. However, missing a critical bond, it behaves more like a gel than a solid, but retains some of the crystalline structure. Is it play? Any lies detected? Oh, but it's only a flash of a flash. And all we talk about is a charge, constant charge up. All we need is a flash, man. You seen the Marvel? You seen the Flash? We're talking about speed of light, my nigga, right? So, thus, it also has some properties of crystal. We're talking crystallizing, man. Crystal lattice. So, it is thought of as a liquid crystal. Crystallizer, man. Shout out to Crystal James, CJ Battle. Let's go. But it is more viscous than bulk water. It is also behaves like a gel. Back to the exclusion zone. Okay. So a lot of good drop, man. Acupuncture today got some drop. Again, man, I'll leave the links talking about the fulvic acid so you can get more into the elixir of life, man. The Shilajit flow and just recon more and more, man, on what's coming out of all the natural flow. You know what I'm saying? And, get your Shilajit on, man. Try some popping off, getting those minerals flowing. This site right here is always good. NCBI. They got some good little articles, man. Abstract or a natural phytocomplex with potential cognitive activity. Okay. I mean they talking shit legit. It's good for Alzheimer's. Again, we're talking this fulvic acid. The main active principle blocks tau self-aggregation. We're talking that tau self-aggregation. That's like you are aggregating yourself, right? So it stops you from jamming up yourself from reaching the tau. Okay. Opening an avenue towards the study of Alzheimer's, man. Interesting, right? So read these studies, dig on this what they call phytocomplex, fulvic acid, put your science hat on, And we're just talking about popping off. We're talking about that mem sauce, that memory. It's good for Alzheimer's disease, right? WebMD got some good drop on the Shilajit flow, fulvic acid flow. I'm just seeing what they got to say. A lot of my knockers got allergies. Says people use fulvic acid for conditions such as allergies, all right, eczema, cancer, Alzheimer's, and all this is already in that black tar coming out the earth. 100% water soluble fulvic acid, all right, relieving allergy symptoms, all that stuff, stopping cancer cells from growing and all that, man. All right. One more here, one more here. This is mytracewellness.com. Learn what is fulvic or humic, HUMIC, water. So all we're talking about today is that mem sauce. All right, both fulvic acid and humic acid contain minerals. Fulvic acid is comprised of over 70 minerals. Most are ionic or anion minerals, including amino acids, phytochemicals. There's that word again, vitamins. An ionic material is a material with a positive or negative electrical charge. Ionic materials are soluble in water. So we're talking about being fully able to be used in your body. Since your body is mostly water, are said to facilitate the absorption of other nutrients. All right. And you can read more about it, man. We're just talking about the minerals, the trace minerals, the stuff we need. You know what I'm saying? How do we get it, man? So all this, it says fulvic acid, humic water may refer to presence of fulvic acid and humic acid in rivers, creeks, lakes, springs. We're talking that natural spring, back to the primary water, or to commercial made bottled water, which contains fulvic or humic additives. And you just got to trust the company, right? Fulvic or humic acids are naturally occurring, the byproduct of decaying organic matter. Both are found in plant trace amounts. Shilajit, a pitch-like substance found in mountainous regions, is rich in fulvic and humic acids. Shilajit has been used in traditional Indian medicine for several thousand years and is still used in northern India today. God, God. So keep digging on it, man. When we talk Shilajit, man, you better be better be Shilajit to quit, man. They trying to pat it up. Look at these guys, man. Yeah, there's always risk. So always make sure there ain't no extra trace materials, metals, or anything in your Shilajit. Don't just trust anybody because it could contain mycotoxins or free radicals. You know what I'm saying? Make sure you do your recon, man. You know what I mean? That's all we say. Natural product, alternative medicine, of course, right? Shilajit is potent, very safe dietary supplement, potentially able to prevent several diseases, but its main medical application now appears to come from its actions and benefit of cognition and potentially as a dietary supplement to prevent Alzheimer's. So it gives you your memory because water has memory. And in essence, this is a nutraceutical product, considering the expected impact of Shilajit applications in the medical field, especially in neurological sciences. More investigations at the basic biological level are necessary. Of course, right? And certainly well-developed clinical trials. They need some more peer reviews in order to understand how its active principles act at molecular and cellular levels. Okay. Shilajit, fulvic acid, water solubility. I just want to hear old boy pop off again right quick. Maybe we could even understand it even more this time. And, just get out of here with a Dr. Pollock, dismount here, man. Just having a great time catching up with y'all, man. It's always, pure water, being in the presence of Drop Nation, because every drop creates the wave, man. So the water to y'all, man, for always being here present with a knock, man, because your present really is a present, man. Your presence really is a gift, really is a present. So let's hear this again one more time.
Types of water scientifically. You have H3O, H2O, and H3O2. H3O is scientifically the water that is present inside of our body that we are 72% of. This is a jelly-structured water. It is 3 hydrogen molecules plus 1 oxygen molecule. That is what H3O stands for. Now, H2O, you guessed it, it stands for 2 hydrogens plus another oxygen molecule condensed together in the structure of water. This is the water present in rivers, in streams, in lakes, in bodies of water in nature. Now you have your H3O2, which is 3 hydrogen molecules plus 2 oxygen molecules attached to it. And this is the water present in fruits. It is very, very present in things like melons, such as zucchinis and cucumbers, watermelons, etc. And with that being said, this H3O2 water is scientifically the 4th phase of water. Mainstream science has started to research this structure of water, and they have named it the 4th phase of water. The reason it is the 4th phase of water, it is because we can yield more energy from it, and it delivers more energy to us. And not to mention, in the metabolic process of water inside of our body, H3O2 actually loses an oxygen molecule when it's put in the body. So with that being said, what happens when H3O2 loses an oxygen molecule? It's H3O. So it converts into the water that our body is actually made up of. And H3O2 is filled with electrolytes, biophotons. It is filled with minerals, vitamins, and essential nutrients for the human body. With that being said, H3O, the water that is scientifically present inside of the body, is actually been confirmed to not be anywhere outside of the body. It is nowhere in nature, it is not in food, it is not in any type of food, etc. So the only way to actually get H3O back in our body is to consume H3O2, because it converts back into 3 hydrogen molecules plus another oxygen molecule. And the only way to do this is to eat your water, or juice things like melons and juice things like cucumbers. With that being said, when people are in a constant state of consumption of H2O, 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 and you're just drinking a bunch of water, all you're doing is flushing out your kidneys. You are simply drowning your kidneys on a physical level, which is linked to you urinating so much. You are just dumping out minerals and electrolytes in your urine. And that is why that urine appears to be the color of water, because you are literally pissing out a bunch of water. You are yielding no water when you're drinking a bunch of H2O, and that is a fact, right? That is why people intuitively know they're urinating way too much when they're drinking a gallon of water every day. That's not what you're supposed to do. That is not hydrating you.
Eat your fruits, my niggas, eat your veggies. If you get nothing else from this hours long recon of H2O, H3O, and by all means, drink H2O. You know what I mean? Drink water. But just know that there's different phases, states of water. Don't think that the water that you're settling for is the best alternative. Look into the coconuts, look into the watermelons. Get the joints without this or with the seeds. Dodge as much as you can the inorganic and try to get organic, all that, to your best ability. Take the baby steps, even if we can't do it perfectly, even if it's still all chapped up, like Yosef be talking about, even if it's still chapped up. You know what I'm saying? At least take those take the route of least chapness. You know what I'm saying? Take the least chap route, man. You know what I mean? And eat the fruits, eat the veggies. get the seeds, get it organic, the best to your ability, man. And, just pop off, man. Obviously, man, y'all surfing the wave with me, and I'm surfing the wave with y'all in real time, man. Real time, man. And you can pull up this link anytime. You can enjoy it. And now that you got some recon going, and you've been introduced to Dr. Gerald Pollack, and I'm sure you got some great discussions that you can continue to build on, with your peoples, man, and with yourself. You know what I'm saying? Just see how this fits into your flow. And again, if all you get is fruits and veggies, then you got fruits and veggies. Eat more fruits, eat more veggies. All you get, that's cool. Take your shoes off sometime, man. Ground your feet. For this, man, we out of here,
You
bro.
may not know that because the water molecule is so small that two-thirds translates into 99% of your molecules. Think of it. 99% of your molecules are water. So do your shoes are carrying around a blob of water, essentially. So the question is, in your cells, do those water molecules actually do something? Are these molecules essentially jobless, or do they do something that might be really interesting? And for that matter, are we even really sure that water is H2O? We read about that in the textbook, but is it possible that water is actually not H2O? So these are questions that whose answers are actually not as simple as you think they might be. In fact, we're really in the dark about water. We know so little. Why do we know so little? Well, you probably think that water is so pervasive. It's such a simple molecule that everything ought to be known about water, right? I mean, you think it's all there. Well, scientists think the same. Many scientists think, oh, water is so simple that everything must be known. And in fact, that's not at all the case. So let me show you, start with a few examples of things about water that we ought to know, but we really haven't a clue. So here's something that you see every day. You see a cloud in the sky, and I probably haven't asked the question, how does the water get there? Why? I mean, there's only one cloud sitting there, and the water is evaporating everywhere. Why does it go to this cloud, forming what you see there? So another question, could you imagine droplets floating on water? We expect droplets to coalesce instantly with the water. The droplets persist for a long time. And then here's another example of walking on water. This is a lizard from the Antarctica, and because it walks on water, it's called the Jesus Christ lizard. And of course, you'll say, well, I know the answer to this. The surface tension is high on water, but the common idea of surface tension is that there's a single molecular layer of water at the top, and this single molecular layer is sufficient to create enough tension to hold whatever you do. I think this is an example that doesn't fit that. And here's another example, 2 beakers of water. You put 2 electrodes in, and you put high voltage between them, and then what happens is a bridge forms, and this bridge is made of water. It's water. And this bridge can be sustained as you move one beaker away from the other beaker as much as 4 centimeters, sustained essentially indefinitely. How come we don't understand this? So what I mean is that there are lots of things about water that we should understand, but we don't understand. And so we really don't know. So, okay, so what do we know about water? Well, you learned that water molecule contains an oxygen and 2 hydrogens. We know that. And we also know there are many water molecules, and these water molecules are actually moving around microscopically. So we know that. What don't we know about water? Well, we don't know anything about the social behavior of water. What do I mean by social? Well, sitting at a bar and chatting with your neighbor. We don't know how water molecules actually share information or interact. And also we don't know about the actual movements of water molecules, how water molecules interact with one another, and also how water molecules interact with other molecules like that purple one sitting there. Unknown. Also, the phases of water. Now, we've all learned that there's a solid phase, a liquid phase, and a vapor phase. However, 100 years ago, there was some idea that there might be a fourth phase somewhere in between a solid and a liquid. Sir William Hardy, famous physical chemist, 100 years ago exactly, professed that there was actually a fourth phase of water, and this water was kind of more ordered than other kinds of water, and in fact had a gel-like consistency. So the question arose to us, all of this was forgotten because people began, as methods improved, to begin to study molecules instead of ensembles of molecules. People forgot about the collectivity of water molecules and began looking, the same as in biology, began looking at individual molecules and lost sight of the collection. So we thought, we're going to look at this because we had some idea that it's possible that this missing link, this fourth phase, might actually be the missing link, so that we can understand the phenomena regarding water that we don't understand. So we started by looking somewhere between a solid and liquid. And the first experiments that we did get us going, we took a gel, that's the solid, and we put it next to water. And we added some particles to the water because we had the sense that the particles would show us something. And sure enough, you can see that what happened was that the particles began moving away from the interface between the gel and the water, and they just kept moving. And they wound up stopping at a distance that's roughly the size of one of your hands. Now that may seem small, but by molecular dimension, that's practically infinite. It's a huge dimension. So we began studying the properties of this zone, and we called it, for obvious reasons, the exclusion zone, because practically everything you put there would get excluded, would get expelled from the zone as it built up, or instead of exclusion zone, EZ for short. And so we found that the kinds of materials that would create or nucleate this kind of zone, not just gels, but we found that practically every water-loving or so-called hydrophilic surface could do exactly that, creating the easy water. And as the easy water builds, it would expel all the solutes or particles, whatever, into the bulk water. And we began learning about the properties, and we spent now quite a few years looking at the properties. And so it looks something like this. You have a material next to the water, and these sheets of easy layers begin to build, and they build, and just keep building up one by one. And so if you look at the structure of each one of these planes, you can see that it's honeycomb, hexagonal kind of structure, a bit like ice, but not ice. If you look at it carefully, you can see the molecular structure. So of course it consists of hydrogen and oxygen, but it's built from water. But actually, they're not water molecules. If you start counting the number of hydrogens and the number of oxygens, it turns out that it's not H2O, it's actually H3O2. So it is possible that there's water that's not H2O, a phase of water.
Right. Hijack City, man. That's really the main point, is that it's possible that there's other water, other than what they're selling us on, right? Other than what they want us to believe that is our only option. So if all you're getting is another option, then that's what you're getting. If you're getting a reminder to hydrate, that's what you're getting. Again, drink your H2O. Do what you gotta do. Do what you gotta do, man. Do you. But just know there's other options, you know what I'm saying? And we're going to continue to investigate, look into the possibilities, you know what I'm saying, to get life. We're talking about getting more life. I'm going to do a belly flop one more time. And we up, man. Easy water, hexagonal, natural by law.
Material, you have the easy water, and you collect energy from outside. And as you collect the energy from outside, the exclusion zone builds. And if you take away that extra energy, it'll go back to its normal size. So this battery is basically charged by light, by the sun. It's a gift from the sun. If you think think about it, what's going on, if you think about the plant that you have sitting in your kitchen getting light, you know where the energy comes from. The energy comes from the light. It's the photons that hit the plant that supply all energy, right? And the plant converts it to chemical energy, the light energy to chemical energy, and the chemical energy is then used to do growth and metabolism and bending and what have you. That we all know is very common. What I'm suggesting to you from our results is that the same thing happens in water. No surprise because the plant is mostly water. So suggesting to you that energy is coming in from outside, light energy, infrared energy, radiant energy, basically, and the water is absorbing the energy and converting that energy into some sort of useful work. And so we come to the equation E equals H2O, a bit different from the equation that you're familiar with. But I think it really is true that you can't separate energy from water. Water is a repository of energy coming free from the environment. Now, can we harvest some of this energy, or is it just totally useless? Well, we can do that because you have a negative zone and a positive zone. And if you put two electrodes in, you can get energy, right? Just like a battery. And we've done that, and we were able to, for example, a very simple optical display can be run from the energy that you can get from here. And obviously, we need to build it up into something bigger and more major in order to get the energy. This is free energy, and it comes from water. Another opportunity that we've been developing is getting clear, free drinking water. So if you have a hydrophilic material, and you put contaminated water next to it with junk that you want to get rid of. So what happens, as I've shown you, is that this stuff gets excluded from beyond the exclusion zone, and the remaining EZ doesn't have any contaminants. So you can put.
Bang. So that's the purpose of putting the hydrophilic material, is to attract, whatever you don't want, and what's left is what they're calling the EZ zone or exclusion zone, man. Now we're talking pure water. Now we're talking living water.
Put bacteria there, and bacteria would go out. And because the exclusion zone is big, it's easy to extract the water and harvest it. And we found that. And we're working on making it practical. Well, one of the things we noticed is that it looks as though salt is also excluded. So we're now thinking about extending this, putting in ocean water. You put the ocean water in, and if the salt is excluded, then you simply take the EZ water, which would be free of salt, and you get drinking water out of this.
Okay. Wow. And again, man, this is 9 years ago. So this ain't a new thing. We start, this is 9 years ago, boss. They breaking down the knowledge 9 years ago. This ain't no new science. When you talk water, you're talking sound, you're talking frequency, you're talking vibration. I mean, you're talking Ama, you're talking creator, right? To get the pure water is to get life. So if your step is eating more veggies and fruits, cool. But we have to get to a point where, we can give life to our children, life to our tribe. Focusing on planting your gardens and thriving with great soil, great pH, alkaline balance, whatever you got to do to get these fruits. And what he's working on, he's saying he's trying to work on making it practical. So, I hope the bro's still alive. I hope he's still going strong, because you know how they do with these doctors, man. And pray so while that the information and the vibration and the message continues to grow. That there's more than one state of water, we know that, and there is another phase, and your body's not in the same phase as this bottled water they're giving us. It's just enough to keep enough of us going long enough, man. But we're not living a true lifespan. We're not living, man, without living water. So praise HaWah for this understanding, even if it's 9 years later, man. We in the nine, we in the spiral of life. Once again, we are obtaining biological energy, man. Because at the end of the day, we in the energy business. We in the frequency business. We are Drop Nation. You are the wave. You already got it, Con. You already got the light. It's all about getting charged up, energized, man. So make great choices. Continue to stay up, suit up, and choose up. We on cool. We gonna rise up, man. We gonna vibe up, and we gonna tribe up. Halal HaWah.